Hi, thanks for stopping by and for returning to the old world. So, today, as you probably gathered from the title of the video, we're going to be talking about Wargame New Year resolutions. Which kind of begs the question, why now? Well, obviously, we're partway through the year, about halfway. So, this would be a great time to provide an update as to where I've got on my New Year resolutions. And also, this channel didn't exist at the start of the year, so now's as good a time as any to pick up on this particular trail of thought. But why do we make Wargaming New Year's resolutions? Aside from anything goals we might set ourselves in the more normal sense of New Year's goals. Just want to provide a little bit of background to this, which is to look at the COVID pandemic years. During the various lockdowns, etc., that we had here, particularly in the UK, did find I had built some momentum into fighting the pile of shame, the grey mountain, whatever you want to call it. And I'm sure most of us are in a situation where we do have that grey mountain to climb. As part of this drive to get stuff done, I had moved a number of projects forwards that had languished and just been sat in a box on a shelf staring at me morosely. And I found that setting myself small goals really helped provide motivation to keep me moving forward and get those targets moving towards completion, but in a way that didn't take away my enjoyment of what I was doing. So what were my New Year resolutions? I kept it really straightforward, and I know other people have far more complicated, far more taxing objectives than I've set for myself. First two were quite straightforward. Paint more than I buy, and paint everything that I buy before the end of the year. The stuff around models that I buy, I think, is really important because it does mean that any gifts I receive at Christmas, for example, wouldn't be included in this challenge, partly because it would be absolutely impossible for me to paint anything that I get at Christmas in time for New Year. It's simply not going to happen. But it does stop me from buying models for myself when really I should be preparing for Christmas and getting gifts and things for other people. Encourages me to keep a firm hand on the wallet. My third goal, which was a bit of a stretch target, is to complete my Napoleonic French army. I started this force quite a few years ago when I found a unit of French Imperial Guard. I think it's a set of Victrix models that was just so cheap I couldn't not buy them. And I'd originally intended for that to form the core of an imagination army. So a fictitious Central European army with fictitious state set during around the Napoleonic times. However, I ended up just painting them up as French Old Guard and then started to expand. Originally, I had an idea of buying and collecting two armies. However, that's now focused in on just getting the Napoleonic French done. It's taken me years. I just want to get there so it's not staring at me and I can focus a bit more on new projects and new games. So how am I doing? Well, at the time of recording, I've been making some really good progress on painting more than I've bought. I've painted nearly double the amount I've purchased this year, so that's really positive. As for stuff I need to paint to get everything I've bought done by the end of the year, I've got about 40 models to paint, which is going to take some time. Fortunately, it is the Dwarf Heavy Infantry, and I can get through those at about 5 chaps in a week. So I'm hoping to make decent headway there. As for the Napoleonic French project, I'm down to my last 3 units of infantry, which is going to be about 45 models. It's doable. They take a bit longer than like the dwarves, for example, but I'm hopeful that the models that I've got to paint dwarf-wise, plus the French Napoleonic infantry, I can get those done while still finding time for the occasional model of other types as we go through. So on my next steps, well, my original intention was to finish a couple of 40k projects this year and then dabble. The Games Workshop price increase has led to me looking at other options. I have been looking at Chaos Space Marines and Necrons. I might still dive into the Chaos Space Marines when the new Codex comes in, just to round off an old painting project. But Necrons will remain on the shelf for now. However, I have obviously got my fantasy project, which was one of the big drivers and inspirations for me setting up this channel in the first place. And actually, it's nice to be working on something new. It's the first time in years I've been doing this, as previously I've just been painting up models for old projects, repainting things, stuff like that. I do need to make sure I don't buy too much in one go, but at the rate I'm going, things are looking positive. If you do have any resolutions of your own, or you want to provide any updates, do mention them in the comments. Be really interested to hear what other people are working on. Otherwise, this is Return to the Old World. Thank you for dropping by, and have a great day.